Welcome to Ball Talk Deep, where we talk deep about ball. It's your favorite host, Andrade and Irwin, back at it again.
Yes, sir.
As you guys already know, it's the beginning of the NBA season, arguably the most exciting time of the year, besides Christmas. And if you ask a foodie like myself, Thanksgiving, man, all those leftovers, man. You can't mess around with that.
The postseason when it comes to the NBA.
Yeah, of course. But as you guys know from the last video, I'm going to put a card right over here. We were talking about teams to watch out for, Eastern Conference. And today, we're going to talk about the superior conference in the NBA still.
West Side.
Despite the fact, no disrespect to defending champs, the Bucks and the Nets of this year, we're going to talk about the Western Conference.
It is balancing out a little more, though. I'll say that.
It is.
In the past few years.
About freaking time, man.
It is about time.
But anyways, we both got teams to watch out for. I know Andrade looking at the notes right here. I'm like, shit, man, you got a lot of things to say, man. So say it, man.
All right, my teams to watch out for the West. It's a mixed bag of like teams that are going to be exciting to watch out for and catch games for this season. And also some dark horse contenders.
Nice.
So it's a mixed bag of all that.
Nice.
And I got the Utah Jazz, the Denver Nuggets, Golden State Warriors, and Dallas Mavericks. What about you?
Me, I got the Minnesota Timberwolves and the New Orleans Pelicans.
Okay.
So if you could dive in a little bit more, man, why you got those teams on your list?
All right, let's start off with, this is in no particular order. So we'll just start off with the Utah Jazz. The Jazz, if you guys have been watching the channel for a while, I didn't have high hopes for them. Was I sleeping on them? Because they did exactly what I told you they were going to do.
You were not expecting Donovan Mitchell to get injured.
Oh,
and you were not expecting
exit.
And you were not
expecting.
You were not expecting. Few people were expecting pandemic P to become playoff P again.
What? I said it. No,
no, man. No.
But that's exactly what happened. And it was just like I said that last year was going to be like a learning year for them.
Yeah.
And then for that core to become serious contenders in the near future. Mm-hmm. So now coming into this year, think of guys like the Bucks. The Bucks had those 2 years where they killed it in the regular season, flamed out in the playoffs, and then boom, what happened the third time? They won the championship.
The Nets got injured. That's what happened.
There's always some luck involved. That's true. And then this year, I expect them to get all that experience from last year, the failures, the successes, and put it to good use to improve on. And then on top of that, they're going to play with a chip on their shoulder this year.
Yeah, definitely.
And that revenge season, that chip on their shoulder is a real thing. We saw it with the Spurs when they fucking did it against the Heat back in the mid-2010s. Mm-hmm. And that deep playoff run from not just last year, but just over the past few years with Donovan as their franchise player. All that what?
I know that was really painful for Donovan, man. Yeah. The fact that he was injured and couldn't do anything about it.
But it adds on. So all that, now that the experience is a little more under their belt, they got that chip on their shoulder. Donovan's going to have that chip on their shoulder. I expect Donovan to only get better this season. Gobert might have expanded his offensive game and defensive mobility a little in the offseason. You never know. Mm-hmm. And Jordan Clarkson continues to step up and improve and become like a solidified more trio core right there, like a star trio. That's the potential that they could have.
Yeah, in addition as well, man, the Jazz didn't make like a giant splash per se, but they had a notable rotation pieces to help out with their depth. That way, if they have injuries like last year with Mitchell, it's going to hurt, obviously, but it's going to hurt a little bit less. They'll be able to sustain the storm a bit better.
But the most important part is that the Donovan's going to have to be there.
Yeah.
In the postseason.
Obviously, yeah, man. But
I also don't expect them to, excel, put all their eggs in one basket, all their effort and time in the regular season like they did last year where they had the best record. This time, trials and tribulations.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely.
And speaking of star trio, I'll move on to the Denver Nuggets.
Okay.
Similar to Donovan, who was injured? Because I was high on the Nuggets last year, and Jamal Murray was out, and that changed everything.
I'll tell you this, man. Before you hop into your thing, man, I was seeing in the Bleacher Report or somewhere about the percentages or the odds for somebody to win MVP this year. You know who was left out?
Jamal.
No, man.
Jokic,
man. What the constant disrespect, man.
I'm like, he's gonna win back to back.
No, but at least like put him in the consideration, man. Like the way how the media is portraying this guy, man. They're saying like he's a bum or something, man. I'm like, shit, man. He's the MVP.
I don't know about a bum, but I get what you mean. I actually I forgot someone on, I think it was The Jump, said like they actually threw in Jokic as their MVP candidate for this season, specifically because of what you said. Like they were talking about how like everybody keeps leaving him off. Like I got him as a dark horse MVP, and he could just step back.
Of course, man.
But ultimately, it does rely. The Nuggets' success this season relies on how healthy Murray returns. Mm-hmm. And if he does return healthy, it's over. Because you get a returning MVP Jokic. You get a hungry Michael Porter Jr. Because he got that too. Contract. But he's not going to be one of those players that, I got paid, I'm going to lay off. Like, no, he wants that legacy. And then you're also getting a better integrated Aaron Gordon. And this whole core that they have is pretty young. I think they're all under 26, if I remember correctly.
Gordon got paid too, man. 90 plus mil.
Yeah, and I think this team is not just set for now, but for at least the near future. So with that improved chemistry after a year together, because remember, Gordon got integrated last year during the trade, like it should only get better.
Yeah, man.
And the seeding for them is championship. And they've also been through the trials and tribulations.
Definitely.
Unlike the Jazz, it'll be like, okay, after, I will say last year they figured things out. I only take this season as the second year where they're really getting it all together, or at least figuring it out. The Nuggets this is, I would say, like their third year trying to get it all together. So they're a slight step ahead, and it wouldn't be surprised, if they can do it. Because just a year ago, technically, not season-wise, they were in the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, so, of course. No fluke there.
Yeah. All right, say one of your teams.
All right, man. Hear me out, man. I know you guys are going to call me crazy or whatnot, but I got the Minnesota.
I also want to mention, they're going to be an exciting team to watch. Very exciting team to watch. Jokic, Murray, and MPJ playing like a possibly KD, and I think Gordon being better integrated. Like I said, there's also I think there's going to be a lot of highlight reels with this team.
I'm glad that you brought up the excitement part. This team, I think, is not only going to be exciting, but I think finally, after what it seems a long time, we're going to see some progress of what it seems like an eternal rebuild for this organization. I'm talking about the Timberwolves. I said it before. As you guys already know, man, they got young. This guy's laughing, but I'm like, yo, you can't deny it. They got
There's one player I'm excited about.
They got young studs in Cat, D'Lo, Edwards, and Beasley. Yeah, man. Edwards, real deal, man.
My hopes
Number one.
Edwards keeps increasing. He might make it to the boys' crew this year.
All these guys can ball the fuck out. We could agree with that. The problem is these motherfuckers, man, they can't stay healthy. The one that I'm talking about is D'Lo, man. I'm like, man, this guy like sneezes like the wrong way, injured, off for like 10 weeks. I'm like, shit, man. I'm like, but I think this year is gonna be the year that they stay relatively healthy. And if they stay healthy, you gotta watch out. And before you say, man, what the fuck are you talking about? Okay, they ended the season on a strong note. They won 9 out of the last 16 games, mainly with D'Lo and Anthony Edwards going on. Those guys stay healthy, and mind you, like what's going on with COVID, that teams are gonna take like games off during the regular season, but like with the uncertainty of COVID with certain unvaccinated players, they're gonna be able to catch some teams by surprise. And don't be surprised if they're lurking around.
That's just playing chess right there.
Hey, I feel you, man. Don't be surprised if they're lurking around 500 and they can get into the play-in tournament. And if they do that,
okay, I'll give you that play-in tournament. No. I don't think they're gonna make no. I don't even think they're still gonna make the playoffs yet.
I think we're gonna see some progression there.
I do like. I would. Okay, one thing I would add for them is that Anthony Edwards, man.
Mm-hmm. He can ball.
I think that guy might be the real deal. I'm not confident enough to say that he is going to be it or he is it, but he's leaning for me, and I'm like, oh shit, this guy might not just be like that rookie that has some great highlights in his rookie year and then he kind of like stagnates. Like, no, he seems to really want this. He seems to have a good mindset, seems to be focused, and he, in a way, he kind of reminds me of Zion Williamson if Zion Williamson had trimmed the fat. You know what I mean? Like, he has a big body, he has explosiveness, and he can dominate. He might not be able to dominate as hard, as easy as Zion can, but when he's coming at you, man, That's a big body frame. Like when I see the highlights and you watch him,
and he grew 2 inches.
Like
in the offseason, I'm like shit.
I didn't even know that, but it's just like holy shit. It's like if not Zion, like a LeBron. You know what I mean? It's a fucking freight train coming at you, and if he keeps fucking putting on clean muscle,
and he keeps growing,
and he keeps improving his shot, he can actually be a dominant offensive force, and then just work on your defense.
All right, so who else do you have on your list?
All right. Speaking of dominant forces, I got the Dallas Mavericks.
Okay.
Because
Luka.
I foresee Luka Doncic hitting a new level this year.
Okay.
I really do. And new level meaning, like, there's only so far you can take your game. He's already taken it pretty high, but that next maturity, that next leadership, that next vision, that next helping your whole team improve when you're on the floor. Like he already does that. Now take that to the next level. On top of that, what?
I mean, shit. He's not gonna make Porzingis not choke.
Well, here's the thing. This also might be the year that Luka and Kristaps finally gel together because we might actually get a healthier KP. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, he's talked that big talk. He seems kind of like Victor Oladipo. Like okay. He got his injuries handled, and this would be the first year where he gets like his legs under him. Mm-hmm. We'll find out.
We'll see.
Top of that, Dallas has a new coach, and who knows? Jason Kidd may be the missing piece to like get this team rolling for a successful future run because they need it. But overall, I got this team on the list because they should be a fun team to watch, and with a more mature, focused Luka, realizing that this is his time. He's still far from his peak years, but this is the time where he's got to, I got expectations. I got goals to start knocking out, get past at least the first round at the end of this postseason. You got to get into the second round, or that's when the pressure is going to really come on top of you. Mm-hmm. And I think that's going to be in the back of his mind. I think it's the back of the Mavericks' mind, back of Mark Cuban's mind. And I think they might pull a couple surprises this year.
I'm glad you brought up the pressure part, man, because the next team I'm going to talk about, there's going to be a lot of pressure going on, because if they don't get their shit together, man, it's going to be another eternal rebuild, a.k.a. dumpster fire, doing dumpster fire things. I'm talking about the New Orleans Pelicans, where our boy Zion is playing at right now. As I think we talked about in our previous video, David Griffin and Zion Williamson
right there.
Do not have the best type of relationship, and they have not done that much living. Not living. I mean, shit. I would hope. They haven't done a lot of winning as of late, and the reason why I have them as a team to watch out for, Jada, we could agree. Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson, they're both ballers. They can ball the fuck out.
Yeah.
All right, but they haven't been able to put it together for the most important things, which is what? W's.
Yeah.
And the reason why I have them to watch out for is, man, if things get ugly, they go off to a slow start, and they're not doing W's or whatnot, you think the Ben Simmons situation is bad? Zion,
Good point.
The Zion watch is going to be...
I think we talked about this in another video.
Yeah, man. It's going to be 24/7 Zion watch. What's going to happen with Zion? Is he going to go to New York? Is he going to go to, I don't know, South Beach? Nah, I'm just kidding. He's not going to South Beach.
Because it's not just Zion, man. It's his family. And his family seems to have some strong influence on him. This is from an outsider's perspective. But and everybody doesn't seem to be fucking with New Orleans in that camp.
Yeah. So, hey, man, to keep it short, man, if they don't get the shit together, get some W's going on for Willie Green over there as a coach, it's not going to be a beautiful season, man, for New Orleans. I'll tell you that.
Facts. But you know who is going to get their shit together this year?
We'll see, man. This team is a lot of injuries based on what I'm seeing over here.
Oh, my God. I'm talking about the Golden State Warriors.
Clay watch.
That's a true thing. Look, the Golden State Warriors were already an exciting team to watch last year when Steph Curry stepped the fuck up and everybody was sleeping on him. Nobody's going to be sleeping on him this year no more. On top of that, Clay watch. And a healthy Klay Thompson on this team already as it is the fuel to light a potentially serious team on fire. And I believe Klay will come back healthy, but not just healthy. This guy's going to come back hungry and focused. Like, he already seems like he's coming back with a chip on his shoulder for no reason. There's no real reason Klay should have a chip on his shoulder, but he's created a chip on his shoulder because he's like, bro, I hear that shit that people talk about the Warriors. I hear that shit they talk about the dynasty days, and I love it. Klay's always been like that, and you put that alongside Steph, come on, man. And like I said with the Jazz, and just any team, when a team plays with a chip on their shoulder and they have the talent, they can take things pretty far. And I really think they're going to prove themselves and try to get everybody to simmer down and and the Warriors are going to be at their best since their dynasty days.
I would love to see the Splash Brothers do their thing at least one more time before they
they'll look a little different, but I think Wiggins is finding his fit in this team. Like, he seems to really be finding his fit in this team and organization. And James Wiseman, if he could take a step up, which I expect him to, and his improvement should add a more noticeable factor in contributing to their success, on top of the trio core of Draymond, Clay, and Steph.
That and the other guys that just drafted right now, Moody and Kumija. If I'm not mistaken, I might be saying his name.
Yeah, it's their first year. I don't expect too much.
They look pretty good, man. Maybe they could do something like what the Heat did a couple years back in their finals run with Nunn and Hero.
Yeah, possibly. And that would, and if there's an organization that could do it, it would be a Golden State Warriors, which is a top tier organization. And then you got a coach like Steve Kerr, which is a top tier coach. Yeah. So I do think not only would they be an exciting team to watch, but low key dark horse contenders. I don't know about championship contenders. That'll be more solidified mid-season, but playoff contenders. They're not going to be in the play-in tournament at the end of this year. They're going to be, I think, maybe 6th, 5th. I don't know. Maybe they'll be in the play-in for 7th and 8th.
We'll see. Guys, let us know in the comments what you guys think. You guys
what
agree?
Teams did we miss out on?
Yeah, if there's any teams you guys want to add, and as Andrea like to say, why? And either way, appreciate all the love and the hate. You guys already know. Catch us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, all podcast streaming platforms. Ball Talk Deep. We'll catch you guys soon. For now,
take care.
Jesus.